Hey, Soul Survivors, I have a viewer topic that might help you. She said, why is it that I can't repent from my sins? So, first, I want to cover the word repent. We all have our interpretations of what some vocabulary means, but this is a really good, I'm going to try not to click. This is a really good way to break it down. So, I'm not going to get real biblical, but in the Old Testament, the first word is Nachum. I'm that Hebrew. So I think that's how you would pronounce it. I believe it's a Hebrew word, Nachum, Nacham. And it means to turn around or to change your mind. And the second is the word sub, said over 600 times in the Old Testament. And translated, it means things such as return, turn, seek, or restore. So the New Testament is metanoia. I'm not sure how to say that, but that means to change the mind. So that is what repent is. And that's why we're stuck. So why can't I repent from my sins? And we have to do this mindset, even with our healing. Why can't we let go? Because changing the mind is hard. And it gets to a point where we're scared, just like if you were getting ready to jump out of a plane and you have a parachute, you have an instructor, you've gone through training, and you're frightened, and you're being told, jump, jump, you can do this, and you're like, nope, I'm backing out. It's changing your mind. So when we're trying to do something, we are trying to either forgive ourselves, and that's partially why we repent, is to get forgiveness. And we have to forgive ourselves too. And that's where we're not shifting our minds. And her wording, pay attention to your words, how we speak to ourselves. Our words become or our thoughts become our words become our actions become our destiny. So we got to change those thoughts before they become words. So she had this thought, I can't do it. I can't repent. Something's blocking me. I can't do it. So she verbalized it, and that's going to cause her to act on that. So if you have that thought, if we can change just the way we look at that thought, um, I'm going to repent. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to, as opposed to I can't let go of my narcissist, or I can't quit thinking about them. And when you do it in that tone, your thoughts became your words. What comes after that is your actions. And we're creating our destiny that way. And it's little things like that if you're like, I'm a failure, I suck at this, I'm never going to amount to whatever, and you start negative self-talking. My house is a mess. You're going to get too depressed. You're not going to want to clean it. Um, the way we talk to ourselves is going to affect how we perceive our own selves, what our abilities are. So we go through up and down struggles. So instead of saying, I suck, I'm a failure, I can't do this, I need to do this, I will do this. And if you can do the will, um, it shifts. And it does that too in relationships too. If you have a mindset, don't always verbalize it, but if you have the mindset, discuss it, but don't overdo it. But when you're in a good relationship and you guys have discussed, yeah, I would like to be married. That's why I would like to date you and be exclusive. So when you have the mindset, it's going to happen. We're going to get married. This is the person I'm meant to be with. You have a more positive vibe. And when you have that more positive vibe, you're not pushing people away. But you got to be careful it doesn't over vibe. So relationships are tricky. But the reason you're getting stuck is the negative self-talk and the frustrations and the fear. The fear, like, I got to change. I've been feeling guilty for so long. I've been feeling that this is who I am. If we're like, I feel bad that I did that. We're used to feeling bad. But once you get free, once you can set yourself free, that's when you're going to feel alive again. That's when the thoughts aren't going to overpower your head. And I promise you, if you can change, and that's what repent means, is to change the mind. And that's why I've talked about, changing our thoughts. It's just a different angle. We can say, I suck. I've only lost 15 pounds since I started my diet, or I gained 2. You can still focus on, I'm healthier now, or I've lost however much, and that's that much closer to my goal, as opposed to it's that far away. Kind of like that glass half empty, glass half full. So we can be a pessimist to ourselves, or we can be optimistic. That is up to us. And that's where we turn into our own best friend. Instead of picking apart, that's what the narcissist did during that discard. They picked apart everything. And we're used to being picked apart. And we pick up those traits. We start wondering, what is wrong with me? Why did they leave me? And or why did it fall apart? Why didn't they truly love me? We have to remember, if somebody doesn't connect with you, they're always trying to get that dopamine hit. And we're in a altered state when we're going through depression, anxiety. Like, you can get anxious, like, I'm going to fail again, or I feel so bad. We have to accept the things that we can't change. So, depending on your circumstance, you can apologize to the person and say, I look forward to hearing from you in the future. And that's a positive. I look forward to it, as opposed to, you probably won't want to talk to me. And, if you think about coming to my YouTube channel, it's like, you guys probably don't want to hear anything I have to say, but here goes. Tonight we're talking about, as opposed to, this is exactly what you guys need to hear, whatever. It's just a different way of saying it. And changing the mind is hard. We'll talk about it in live chat, but I wanted to address that because it has to be addressed. And once we address what we're going through, take note. What is making me feel I can't do it? A lot of times we feel we can't repent because we're not worthy. But if you're religious in any way, your God feels you're worthy. In whatever religion you are, there are certain steps that you have to take. And he wants us whole. He wants us filled with love. And we'll talk more about that in chat, because there's a lot to it. But thank you for that topic request. And it takes time, and it can be painful, but it's better than living every day like we live. It's worth healing and forgiving ourselves and learning how to change the mind. Think of that definition. If you're religious in any way, that's biblical. Changing the mind. And if you're not religious, it's still pretty good definition. I'll see you soon.